A little knowledge can be a dangerous thing. Our idiom today, our expression today is a little knowledge can be a dangerous thing. This is one of those idioms and expressions that's been around since about the 1700s, early 1700s. Alexander Pope's poem, I don't remember the name of it, Easy in Criticism or something, was about and used a reference to a little knowledge can be a dangerous thing. Now, I grabbed this book. It's actually it's a really good book. It's just a cookbook. It's a recipe book on eating for your blood type. And over the years, I have done a lot of things, a lot of self-study about, and a lot of coaching and programs and information and classes and seminars and all kinds of things back in the real world before online world was around to deal with my health and my weight. And a couple of years ago, after coming online, I had a huge health challenge and I couldn't walk. I literally could not get out of bed and I couldn't walk for a while. And it was a very short period of time because of past experience I had where that happened to me for a longer period of time. And one of the things that I heard about from an actual very knowledgeable friend was you can eat for your blood type. And so I started looking into it and studying it and eating for my blood type and realized that the little bit of knowledge I had about health and nutrition and how I should eat and what I should eat was all focused around taking care of my heart because I had had a sudden cardiac arrest. Now, a little knowledge in my novice hands had me eating all kinds of foods, but only considering my heart health and my recovering from a sudden cardiac arrest. Well, little did I know that a lot of the foods and the things that I was selecting based on what's good for your heart ended up being very bad for me, and that is what led to kind of a toxicity in my body that couldn't handle all the foods that I was eating and battle inflammation and other challenges I was having. And then when I sprained my ankle, everything exploded and imploded, and I realized I needed to do more research and I needed to go to people that were experts that could help me with that. So my little bit of knowledge, although it kind of served me in the past, ended up blowing up in my face because I didn't have the big picture, all the information that I needed to make the right decision for me. Now, the same information is out there for the whole rest of the world to see now, especially with the days of the internet, and people can pick and choose what they want to pay attention to. This particular idiom, to me, it means that we can follow our interests, we can get curious about something because we know a little bit about it and want to learn more, or our ego might say, I know a little bit about this, but our ego will tell us, oh, I know everything about this, therefore I don't need to study, I don't need to learn, I don't need to dig in, I don't need to ask questions, I don't need to know more. Now, which is a stronger position when we're building our business? I say the desire, the curiosity to learn more and to surround ourselves with experts in the different areas and aspects of running our business that we might not actually be that interested in. We might have a little bit of knowledge of the different areas and aspects of our business, but we don't have to be the be-all and end-all detail-oriented expert in each of those areas. A little bit of knowledge about something can help lead us in the direction that's right for us. Now, I love to do certain things with respect to my businesses and the different businesses that I've been in throughout my life. But in every business, there were things I loved to do, and there were things I just couldn't stand to do that were terrible to me. Other people loved them, but that was their area of expertise. I say accounting and finance, but they weren't interesting to me. You know, checks and balances, and did I study accounting? Do I have a basic foundation? I've got a business degree as well as an engineering degree. Does that mean I understand the basics of it? Yes, but would I ever think that I am a tax or financial planning or budgeting or accounting, you know, checks and balances, the assets and liabilities expert? No, and guess what? I don't ever want to be. I'm so thankful that people love numbers and crunching numbers and doing all the finances and the number crunching and accounting for me. I need to know the results. I need to know the numbers. I need to know the key performance indicators to run my business. But I don't have to be the one that enters all the information nowadays into the computer. And that stems That actually stems from an experience I had when I was running a wholesale and retail liquor business when I was going to college. It was the early days of the computer. I know I'm aging myself, but it was the early days of computing, and I had a whole year of receipts and accounts payable, accounts receivable, and accounts payable that got lost and wiped out of the computer. And so all that data had to be re-input. Now, I had a bookkeeper back then, but he only did everything by hand. His name was Wendell, wonderful man. But he only did everything by hand. And so I had to be the one that re-input all of that in the computer. And I think that just sort of ruined my taste for finances and accounting's detailed work. But it also reminded me that I can just have a rudimentary understanding of something and still lead my organization, still lead my business. My job is to, and luckily matches with what I like to do, is to paint the big picture, the vision of where we're going, and then coach and hold people accountable along the way for their part in making that happen. And that is a lot more fun for me than having to have a lot of knowledge about everything. Which, it's interesting because in the offline world, I always knew that. I always had people around that were in their different fields and areas of expertise. But when I finally branched out of corporate America for the last time in 2003, holy buckets, I have been out of corporate for a long time. In 2003, I somehow managed to figure everything out, still surround myself with the right people. But when I went online in 2017, somehow I still, after 4 decades of business experiences in corporate America and different things, got sucked into the vacuum of this learning loop mentality where I thought I had to learn the next thing and the next thing and the next thing to do certain things online and to create certain things online. And it's just an interesting phenomenon that I think maybe people do it offline. I guess people that go to college forever, I might have been one of those, they might have a little bit of that same tendency, and maybe that was the precursor to me understanding that I would be susceptible to that particular phenomenon online where we just always think we need to learn everything. And then we end up what? Learning and knowing a little bit about a lot of things, but we don't have the core basis of who we are and what we want to create in the world necessarily ferreted out for ourselves. So a little bit of knowledge goes a long way. I would love to know your personal experience with this. Of course, it means that a small amount of knowledge can mislead people into thinking that they're an expert or that they're more expert than they really are, which can lead us to making mistakes, right? It can also, here's the flip side of that, it can lead us and prevent us from taking advantage of huge opportunities that are out there and around us all the time, because we might think that we just know a little bit about something and then we're afraid of it. Think of things like artificial intelligence, Bitcoin, financial markets, all kinds of things that are maybe in or outside our level of experience. Each and every one of us have a zone of experience and knowledge, and everything else is outside of that. Well, it's a great big world outside of what we have experienced and what we know. So I like to try to keep that in mind. Love to know your experience with this idiom. Share in the comments below. Questions, hit me up. Otherwise, I'll be with you tomorrow with another interesting idiom. What does it mean? Where did it come from? And how might you apply it to your life right now? Take care. Catch you tomorrow. Bye.